Hey there everybody, this is Creative2xmom, and today's video is going to be 12 homeschool resolutions for the new year. So welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Robin and this is Creative2xmom. This channel is all about homeschooling, parenthood, and thriving in the day-to-day. And what a year it has been for learning to thrive. 2020, I think, hit us all for a whirlwind. In fact, I haven't sat down in front of a camera to film for you guys in about 3 months because the whole year, I think we can all say that all of 2020 was crazy, and then the end of the year just swept me away. So this is my list of 12. Your list of 12 may look slightly different. I will link down below in the description box some of our homeschool resolutions that we have made in the past so you can get kind of an idea. I tried to create a list of character, deep heart things, but also have a list of things that we want to implement in our school, but also not overload ourselves. Because I already feel like if you're like me as a homeschool mom, you have 1,000 balls in the air and you don't want to take on too much more. So I have a few things that will be new skills, new curriculum, new ideas, but also new habits and new heart things, and not just throwing more on top of the pile. So my first resolution, and this was a goal that I revisited again and again last year if you saw my goals videos, and that is to consistently pray with the kids in the mornings. I have one that goes to public school, my high schooler, and then I have 2 at home. And what we used to do when they were all homeschooled was we would pray at the end of our morning basket time. That worked really well as a good transition point into our more academic studies, I guess you would say. But with the one leaving early in the morning, I have to transition that time so that we can all pray together. I still feel like that's a really important touch point. So there are certain touch points in the day that we pray together anyway, and I feel like that morning is a very important one as we're going our separate ways to really set our focus and our attention for the day. So praying with the kids and finding a way to do that as we are rushing out the door to get to school on time. My second resolution for the new homeschool year is to really play up on my strengths. Now, I think as homeschool moms, we are very well aware of our weaknesses. We know the things that we can be doing better and that we want to be doing better, but those strengths are really hard to remember. And one of my strengths is getting outdoors and being in nature. So I really want to play up on that strength, find ways to incorporate more hiking. We're not getting the same field trip opportunities that we were. So I was thinking, how can I sort of work those breaks into our schedule? And I'm realizing that going for a hike, that's one of my strengths. I love to be outdoors. Let's use that as a field trip, nature study, break sort of opportunity. So really looking at what are my strengths, what makes me unique as a homeschool mom, and playing that up in our homeschool in new, fresh ways. Okay, my next resolution kind of intimidates me a little bit, but my daughter and I decided we could do this. I've been trying to incorporate more handicrafts into our homeschool, and this was something I found on Rainbow Resources, and it's 2 birds. This is needle felting, and she said to me the other day, she said, "Oh, I saw that." We were in one of these craft stores. She said, "I saw that and I wanted to try it." And I said, "Well, lucky for you, I grabbed the bird kit because we're going to be studying birds in the spring, and I thought this would be something that we could sort of learn together." I have 2 that are homeschooling this year, and each of these kits comes with 2 different projects. So I will probably more so be helping doing it for my 4th grader and my 7th grader. We'll all be learning together. So this one intimidates me, but I'm actually excited to do it. I've seen Hannah from Pepper and Pine do several of these projects, and hers always come out so cute. So I want to try it this year. Resolution number 4 is to be working on our spring garden. With everything that happened last year, we had extra time to work on a spring garden, and I felt like we learned a lot, but even as the months have gone on, there's so much more that I wish I would have known at the beginning of last spring. So we're going to be putting in a spring garden. I have ordered some seeds. I've got my planting schedule started to lay out. We've been talking about when we need to start different things, and I want to focus on things that we use day to day. So for our spring garden, I'm looking at tomatoes, I'm looking at cucumbers, I'm looking at peppers. I would love to get some zucchini in again. I think that's a great way to have a real practical life skill, but also there's so much that can be learned and when you start applying that to your homeschool. So it's just going to be building upon the knowledge that we had, and I'm also looking at doing some sort of field trippy type ideas with that and some local gardeners in our area. So I'm excited to incorporate that more and more into our science. Okay, resolution number 5, and this is something that we have done consistently for about 3 years, I think, and that is to start working on fair projects. I have the kids usually in January sometime sit down and I go through the fair categories with them, and I ask them what sort of project they want to work on that year. My kids do chalk pastels, so sometimes they will have a certain drawing that they'll repeat over and over again to get it ready. We've done baking in the past, so I need to sit down with them probably this weekend, and we're going to pick out our fair projects, and then we spend the next several months working it into our schedule, practicing those things. They might take an afternoon to practice their technique with their drawing. They might take a weekend to practice. My daughter did a pie one year, so she would practice every couple of weeks making the same pie or a different one. I've done cookies in the past. So we need to pick out our projects and work on those. My 2 younger ones will be creating something. Even last year, even when COVID hit and it looked like we weren't going to be able to enter our projects, we still worked on them sort of as a way of just refining that skill. So that is my hope, is that we're going to sit down and pick out those projects really soon and start working on those skills. Resolution number 6 is to praise my older kids more. I have 2 teenagers. My son is 15 and my daughter just turned 13 last month. And it's so easy to get in this habit of just being frustrated with each other, or being frustrated with the schoolwork, or being frustrated with deadlines. And then, I don't know, it's just so much easier to praise the little ones than to praise the big ones, especially when they become teenagers. So my goal is to really search out those times where they do things that I can praise them, even if it's a small thing, just to continue to build that in them. I'm not talking about things that are not genuine, like, oh, hey, good job. Real genuine praise for the things that they're doing that I might not always take notice of. Okay, a lot of you have probably heard of the 1,000 Hours Outdoors Challenge. If you haven't, go on Instagram, search them up. They have charts for tracking your 1,000 hours outside, and if I'm going to start making my strengths, focusing on my strengths, particularly getting out in nature, I'm going to start tracking our 1,000 hours. Now, at the end of the year, the 1,000 hours is my goal, and that is always helped by camping trips or family trips, that sort of thing. But I'm hoping by the end of May, I don't know if I will get half by the end of May, but let's say 400 hours by the end of May will be my goal. They have lots of printing designs and stuff, that trackers on their website that you can print out. My printer wasn't working, so I just took a piece of graph paper, and then I have this inside my teacher's binder, and I'm filling it in as we go about our weeks. Okay. Resolution number 8 is sort of a stretch, and we'll see how this goes. We got a keyboard from a family friend of ours. I have taken piano lessons when I was in high school, and my youngest has shown some interest, so I want to start just introducing a little bit here and there, see where it goes. I'm not going to really push it. If I was paying for lessons, I would maybe be a little bit more strict about it, but since I'm not, since it's coming from Mom and we're just gauging interest right now, we're going to see. But I really want to introduce that idea of learning to play the piano. Resolution number 9 is to declutter our homeschool stash a little bit. I have slowly been giving stuff away, selling old curriculum, but I realized when I got out there over Christmas break that there's a lot of things out there that we don't use. Even small things that I probably couldn't sell, like the little number counters, some old coloring books, some search and finds, and all the way on up to some really nice rod and staff curriculum, some really nice chapter books. So I'm going to make it a goal to, I don't know how much yet, maybe a bag a month, whatever, to be decluttering that either through donating it to the library, through selling it. I know that there are some young homeschool families who've really been thrown into homeschool in the last year, so giving away some of those things for the younger ones to just help them get started. And our final resolution is to find a community. I think 2020 really threw us for a loop in that it eliminated a lot of our community outlets. I know that for myself, it really did. We've never been a part of a co-op. There's just certain things that we didn't have time for because we were involved in other things. And really in the last 10 months, I've seen our community really suffer from that. Our lack of community has caused our homeschool to become challenging and difficult. And I think that's just because you need that outlet. You need that relationship. I need that relationship. The kids need that relationship. I'm not really sure where to go with this because of the current state of our healthcare, the current state of our state that we live in. But I'm working on trying to find safe and healthy ways for us to start to rebuild that community and have that support system, because it is so important. I know that my oldest, who's in public school, still has that in a lot of ways. There are a lot of precautions in place for him to be in school, but that provides him not only the education but also the community, and that's really what we are lacking. As a homeschooler, I've never felt this lack of community that we are dealing with right now. So I'm looking for new avenues, new ways of building that, because I can really see it in all of us that we are really lacking in that area. So that's our 10 homeschool resolutions for the new year. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, are you making any resolutions that are related to your homeschool? Whether it's one, just as simple as we really need community. If you have a list of 10, like I do, you want to get outside, you want to take 52 hikes, that's another great challenge to take on for the new year if you have the time. Let me know what you are focusing on in the next 12 months. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.